Ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids, the Kiadimundi Conets, and severely frustrated ex-Sith Lords out there, thank you so much for stopping by the biggest and deadliest Star Destroyer with yours truly, the Grand Admiral, Director of the Video Gaming Division here at the Galactic Empire, where today you and I are going to be taking a look at Maul gameplay. Yes, we're getting our first kind of early look at Maul several months in advance before the rest of the galaxy gets access to them. And secondly, more importantly, I think we're really going to see Maul make Lord Vader a better team. If you've heard my opinion, probably the opinions of others, Lord Vader just doesn't quite feel like a Lord Vader. And as we kind of predicted, Maul is going to be an important part to the puzzle. And honestly, I'm liking the look of Maul more so than I am with Lord Vader, which is oddly enough because I was really excited to get Lord Vader for years waiting. But couple shout outs. Firstly, this footage was collected through Operation Metaverse. They're one of CG's early access people. They had access to a developer build quite early on, able to get Maul footage very, very early before the rest of the galaxy gets it in a couple months. But I got to give another shout out to AP Games, our chief of the 69th Precinct, who was able to kind of get this in more of a montage factor. So links down below to AP Games' channel, as well as the stream if you want to watch the full entire stream where they spent a lot of time looking at gameplay and going in depth on the Maul mechanics. But let's go ahead and start rolling the gameplay. Few key takeaways before we kind of look more at a nitty-gritty level of Maul. Commander Tano is going to get wrecked with Maul for a variety of reasons, but it looks like, as you're going to see through this gameplay that they did, Commander Tano looks like she never gets to use her insta-kill ability. Remember a couple months ago, we thought it was the most broken thing to insta-kill someone within the first few seconds of battle. Well, Maul's like, that's old news now, sweet cakes. So we're kind of seeing the next step in terms of, you can even call it balance or power creep. We're able to keep Commander Tano in check because she has been quite the menace, and Maul's really going to help the Lord Vader team become more competitive, especially against the Jedi Master Kenobi teams. Because right now, pre-Maul, it's kind of an uphill battle for Lord Vader versus Commander Tano. But now with Maul being able to increase her cooldowns, and mathematically, it should be very easy to outrun a Commander Tano. Commander Tano is going to feel like old news, and Maul is going to be the new kid on the block here. Let's actually start talking about how this works up against Commander Tano, because that is really the biggest takeaway. Now, do note, we do not have gameplay of Maul with the Mandalorians, but that's one reason I am liking Maul more so than Commander Tano for the future, because he looks great. He's got massive damage, tons of cooldown increases, able to ignore taunts, stuns, ability blocks, unresistible, but he's also got a leadership ability, whereas Commander Tano does not have a leadership ability. So we got to talk about a few elements of Maul versus the Commander Tano teams, and especially Maul with Lord Vader. There are a couple things in the kit, and of course, Lord Vader's lead, that are very important. So first things first, we got to talk about Bound by Hatred. The important part of Maul's kit is Anguish, which is going to really, one, help charge up Lord Vader's ultimate, two, give him a variety of effects, such as ignoring taunts, not getting stunned, not getting ability block, and being able to take tons and tons of turns. This guy really is the big bad wolf with the three little piggy. He's going to come, knock down your sticks and stones and break your bones. But is that how the nursery rhyme goes? Oh, where you stand? Go look for it. You're not here to look pretty, I can tell you that. Come back with the right answer, or don't come back at all. Anyways, so Maul's literally the big bad wolf with those bonus turns he's getting over and over and over again. However, he starts off with 3 stacks of Anguish, which is cool and all, which makes him immune to stuns and ability blocks when he's got 3 stacks of Anguish. But the most important thing is, if you want to keep that Commander Tano in check, is while he has 5 stacks of Anguish, 1, 2, 3, 4, raz, 2, 3, 4, 5 stacks of Anguish, he ignores taunt and is always critically hit by enemy attacks, which is important. The critically hit thing is actually a little bit more important for Lord Vader, but the most important thing to keep those pesky Tanos in check is ignoring taunt. And let me just kind of jump right to it, why this is so important. With Maul's Seething Rage, this is your kind of your big bad wolf thing. He's going to blow your house down because he's going to take, if he keeps using this ability over and over again, he's going to take subsequent turns depending on how many stacks of Anguish he has. Seething Rage, when he uses it, he loses a stack of Anguish and gains a bonus turn, which, by the way, Seething Rage can't be countered, which is nice, especially when Kenobi gets that high ground. And each time this ability is used, he's going to do 60% more damage on subsequent uses and increases by an additional 60% until Maul uses a different ability finally during his turn. However, this is where things get really important. If Maul has 5 stacks of Anguish, which is going to get to a maximum of 5 if there's a Kenobi on the opposing team. And well, what do you know? Master Kenobi and the Commander SWGoH has a Kenobi, at least 1, possibly even 2 if there's General Kenobi on the other side of the field. He's going to get a maximum stack of 5 Anguish, and that means he's able to ignore taunts because he has 5 stacks of Anguish. And the strategy is going to be, you're going to want to open up and get to that Commander SWGoH ASAP because you're able to increase the target enemy's cooldowns by 2, not just 1, by 2. So that is why when you're looking at that Master Kenobi Commander SWGoH gameplay from Operation Metaverse, you're seeing it's looking like Commander SWGoH really never gets to the insta-kill ability. And here's how the battle's going to work. Master Kenobi, yeah, his leadership's nice. Yeah, it grants 30 extra speed. Commander SWGoH has a base speed of 190 before you start looking at mods and all that fun stuff. But Lord Vader gives 40 speed. Well, 20 speed, but it's 40 speed if you're a dark side unaligned force user or Empire ally. And what's 40 compared to 30? 40 is bigger than 30. But Maul's base speed is 189, only 1 speed slower than Commander SWGoH. So mathematically, if all things are equal and you're putting decent mods in them, Maul should mathematically outrun those pesky Commander SWGoH right from the get-go. However, I think it's important to make sure Kenobi, it shouldn't be very difficult to do so, but Kenobi starts off with this cooldown reduction on Commander SWGoH, right? Either Lord Vader or Kenobi will go first. Maul's most likely going to go after Kenobi and pretty much undo everything Kenobi just did by increasing Tano's cooldowns by 2. So that is the biggest thing, because right now, pre-Maul, Lord Vader, he doesn't feel like a Lord Vader. And these Kenobi battles are kind of an, dare I say, uphill, high ground type of battle for Lord Vader to deal with. But of course, he's going to call up his good friend Maul, and Maul's going to change the course of the situation for those battles between Kenobi as well as Lord Vader when you're going up against those nasty Commander SWGoH things. That cooldown increase is going to be huge, but let's not talk too much more about the cooldown increases. As you're seeing with Maul, no matter what team it is, look, boom, taking a turn. He keeps going on Commander SWGoH, boom, taking a turn. Watch that damage constantly ramp up, do the subsequent uses. He's going to do it again, boom, 111,000. And finally, he lost all of his Anguish. He's going to keep going again. And man, his damage is great when there's tons of bonus protection going on. For example, obviously, Master Kenobi has lots of bonus protection straight at the get-go, but Rey also has tons of bonus protection as well. Maul is literally knocking on the door, crumbling the foundation which this bonus protection sits on, allowing your team to kind of speed up the battle a little bit. And that is the problem with Lord Vader. One, before Maul, it takes a while for that ultimate to ramp up so he can finally start doing good damage. So you kind of sit in there, it's taking all the hits, and finally get to the ultimate. It's like, oh gosh, it's already 2 minutes later. Maul's going to kind of speed up that process by taking all those constant bonus turns with ramping damage. Yeah, it's no insta-kill, but he's able to take these constant back-to-back turns so quickly, knocking doors down. But furthermore, we got to talk about how Maul is able to kind of passively support the team and get Vader to the ultimate even faster. And let's talk about that Anguish real quick. So Anguish, remember, it goes up to a maximum of 5. And what happens with Anguish is you're going to take damage at the start of their turn equal to 2% of their max health for each stack of Anguish. And you're also going to gain that much offense until the end of the turn. And this character cannot be defeated by this damage. All right, we have that there. How does Lord Vader charge up his ultimate? He charges up his ultimate anytime a dark side online forces or Empire ally, yada, 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 they're taking damage. It doesn't specifically have to be enemy damage, but Maul hurting himself back to back to back to back, especially when he's taking subsequent turns, that's helping Lord Vader get up there a little bit in terms of the ultimate charge. So that's nice. However, remember, through that unique ability, we know that with Bound by Hatred, he is able to be critically hit when he's got 5 stacks of Anguish on him. And that's also important. It's a very minor detail. But the great thing about Lord Vader, especially when you bring in that dark side unaligned force user where, well, how'd he do? Looks like Maul's an unaligned force user. My new Empire leadership, first things first, is going to reduce the damage of light side unaligned force users on the opposing team. So Rey, that's nothing new. We're already able to really take advantage of that. Even before Maul got into the picture, use Asajj, Kylo Ren Unmasked, Baby Kylo. You got a few options out there. Obviously, Maul being the far superior one. However, Here's the thing that's interesting. Since Maul is guaranteed to be critically hit, if he has that 5 stacks of anguish, whenever an enemy is critically hit, whenever an enemy critically hits an Empire, Dark Side, Unaligned Force User ally, that enemy is going to get minus 30% critical damage, which is stacking for 3 turns. So it really, there's all these compounding things that is really going to minimize the damage that the team can do upon you. And that's why Maul, besides simply putting out the good damage, so your team can actually make some progress, he's also passively making sure your team is staying alive as much as possible, and especially in a game where Lord Vader's ultimate is being charged by taking damage. You want to minimize as much damage that is being taken as possible. And Maul, because of the leadership, because Maul reducing critical damage, being critically hit, that's going to be huge. And of course, that massive cooldown increase that's coming with Maul. Oh man, that's going to really make Lord Vader a little bit more competitive. But I will say, you heard me talk with this the other day in our ultimate gameplay. It's a little unfortunate. We're kind of getting to this point where Galactic Legends kind of need a part 2 after months and years or possibly thousands of dollars spending on a character. Some of you guys brought up some good points that, you know what, maybe it's good. It slows down power creep. It's just a fair point. I think the only counterpoint is Master Kenobi was amazing out the box before Ultimate, before Commander Ahsoka Tano. But Lord Vader, he needs Big Daddy Maul to get in there and help him out at the playground because all these poor little kids are bullying him around. So I digress. That's going to wrap it up for today's video. Another 2 conquests or so, and yours truly will have Maul unlocked, and we're going to do a lot more real-world testing, and I really want to see, how does Maul operate inside of a Mandalorian faction? But until then, you guys know the drill. Leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And most importantly, always remember, it's great to be in the Empire today.